Hello, everyone. I hope you had a fantastic November and December. It is currently December 29th when I'm recording this. Um, I'm very late on doing this. December, very busy. Should have probably recorded at the beginning instead of, delaying a little bit and being like, oh, I'll record it in time. And now it's December 29th that I'm recording it. So, yeah, that's crazy. And not only am I recording this, I'm like, I'm gonna break the fourth wall a little bit, ruin the immersion, sadly. I'm recording this, then my December ranking, then my every month ranking, then every album I've listened to this year, I'm gonna rank those as well. So I'm recording all of these back to back. So you're gonna see the same outfit. And I kind of just need to record them all back to back because I need to do them all within the next couple days. So I'm sorry to anyone who has released or done anything in the next 2 days, including me. I guess I gotta wait. Never mind. I might have to wait for the December ranking one, just because I need to rank New Year's Eve. So December might not be filmed today, but that doesn't matter because right now is November. Yeah, so we're talking about November. Sorry for hitting the mic. I don't know if that sounded bad. We'll see. I'm not gonna rewatch the video, so let me know. I'm not even gonna edit. So okay, November ranking. Let's do this. I really should have written full things down. I wrote little notes, so give me 1 sec, guys. I'm doing this live. I'm doing this live real fast. Real fast, real fast, real fast. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Okay. We're ready now. Okay. November ranking. November was a great month. November, I mean, don't want to give spoilers away from my month ranking, but November might arguably be the best month for me. And yeah, we'll get into why. But it was a pretty high month. And November is usually my least favorite month of the year. So November had a good year. It showed up. It showed up this year. It was crazy. I don't know if it was a universal experience, but it fucking showed up for me and really put in the work, and I appreciate it because usually November sucks. But at number 9, okay, we only got 9 things this month. There's probably more I did, probably more I could add, but I was writing this a couple days ago, so who I didn't really remember fully. That might be a bit of a problem that we see throughout this video, but it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna talk my shit. The number 9 is last place, but everything in this month was pretty fucking hype. So this is not me saying this is bad by any means. I actually quite like this album. But number 9 is "Shut the Fuck Up Talking to Me" by Zach Fox. I never fully listened to this album, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna listen to it," and I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It's just that I enjoyed 8 things this month more, sadly. So sorry, Zach Fox. I love you, my king. Um, you're the best. And I really like this album, but sadly, you come in last this month. I'm sorry. At number 8 is the Polar Express. Now, really, you'll notice that in my December video, which will be coming out probably only a couple days after this one, um, I don't think there's a single Christmas movie in the December one. There are 2 Christmas movies in this one though. Because I was like, I'm gonna start celebrating Christmas early, and because I usually don't even celebrate Christmas really that at all. I don't really like. I'm a notorious holiday hater. Well, I like holidays in terms of workers deserve breaks, but I don't really fuck with like celebrating Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm not one. I don't really care to celebrate. I just honestly, I'd rather just live my day to day life than have these fucking holidays screwing up my fucking grind. Um, but I was like, this year, I'm gonna try and appreciate Christmas, because sometimes I'm like, oh fuck the holiday season. I really just would like to skip it. But if it's gonna happen, I might as well enjoy it. That was my thought process. So I watched a couple Christmas movies one day, in November, and I never watched any more after that. So I just got too busy. So yeah, but I watched Polar Express. The Polar Express is a banger. I think it still has aged pretty well, like visually, shockingly. I think it has aged pretty well. But yeah, I enjoyed. Polar Express is one of the go tos for me. Um, Probably one of my favorite Christmas movies. I've watched it a ton, And yeah, there's really not much more for me to say. I don't think anyone really cares about my Polar Express commentary. So we'll now move on to uh 1 second, guys. Blue Super Love by Ali Evanson. This is seventh. This is seventh this month. Shout out Ali Evanson. Shout out Detroit. Blue Super Love. It's beautiful. I think if you like some like Caroline Polachek, Phoebe Bridgers with a little more like maybe specifically the Phoebe Bridgers comparison, a little more like electronic production sometimes, and like a little more experimentation production wise there. But if that sounds interesting to you, highly recommend listening to this album. It's great. Once again, shout out Ali Evanson, shout out Detroit. Number 6. I watched the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the cartoon. I watched it the same day as Polar Express. This one's a banger, 100%. Honestly, it's being held back in this list just because it's short. Like, it's not very long, and some of these things are longer, and that's gonna be a tough fight trying to compete with Father Time. Yeah. Um. Okay. I need to come clean, guys. Right now, the reason why I have headphones on right now, because you might be like, Dave, why do you have headphones on? There's nothing else going on but you talking. Because I'm recording like 4 videos in a row, I'm like, I'll listen to a little music so this doesn't feel like it's 5 hours, which it might be. And I forgot that I added Right Round by Flo Rida and Kesha in my playlist, and it just started playing, and it distracted me, guys, and I have to complain about that. So coming at 5.5 is Right Round by Flo Rida and Kesha. But at number 5 is Alligator Bites Never Heal by Doechii. I had listened to bits and pieces of this album, but never fully until November. Which I had been following Doechii for a while, because I've been following Doechii since she released Crazy in, I think, 2022. And I was really I'm pretty sure I'd even talked about how I was like hoping that she'd be like one of the next big stars in rap. I did not necessarily think it was gonna happen though. Like I wanted it to happen, but I was like, I don't know. It just didn't. I couldn't really see that the avenue to it happening. But because I had known, because I know lots of people were introduced to her through this album. But I kept up with the rollout for this album, and that's what I had heard basically, is because she was releasing like the songs and the music videos, like, I don't know, what was it, like weekly or something like that, as it was happening. And I remember being like, this is so cool, and then everyone went fucking crazy for the album, and I don't know what happened. I just never fully listened to it, even though I wanted to. But in November I did, and this album, it goes hard. I mean, Doechii is on another level. I'm very excited for whatever this like sitcom music video for Denial is a River is gonna be. I'm very excited for that. So maybe that'll be in the January ranking. We'll see. But yeah, if you haven't listened to Alligator Bites Never Heal, you have to listen to Alligator Bites Never Heal. I really hope it does take. I mean, the Grammys don't mean shit, but it would be very cool if Doechii wins the Grammy, and I do think she easily has the best album there. Like, it's not a very strong year in terms of the albums and the Grammys, because Chromacopia dodged the Grammys, like, cut off, so it was not nominated, obviously, and neither did GNX, so, it could have been a tough year if GNX and Chromacopia dropped a little bit earlier. It could have been very tough for Doechii. Doechii might not even gotten nominated, because Doechii also got nominated, like, before the album was like really popping, I feel, because I feel like it's popping a lot within the past like month with her like run of little like performances and shit like that. I feel like that's really getting Doechii's name out there. Yeah, let's go. Number 4, GNX by Kendrick Lamar. I was so hyped when this came out. I was driving someone to go like take their car in for service or some shit, and I was driving them back, and then I come home and it's like 8:30 in the morning, and I'm like, or maybe it might have been like 8:40. Yeah, it was around 8:30 to 9ish, and I was like, I open Instagram, and there's a fucking the GNX like teaser, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, holy shit, we're getting the album soon. We're getting the album soon. And I'm like drinking my coffee. I head to my room. I'm about to sit back, just like chill, because I was working later that day. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, and then I look at YouTube, and it was like tons of Kendrick Lamar songs, and I'm like, what? And then I check Spotify, and I'm like, what? A whole album? And I was so hyped. I was pacing back and forth. I was running everywhere. I sat down, recorded a video, which I kind of regret in hindsight because I kind of wish I just experienced it without the video. But it was fun to record the video because I did like the album more and more. I would have liked to have that like just experience myself. Um, Even though it's like I don't know, no one really saw it, but having like the lights in my face and having a microphone and then trying to like say stuff so that it's at least interesting, trying to be entertaining instead of just like just listening. Um, but I love this album. I mean, I don't really know where it ranks in my Kendrick Lamar like my Kendrick Lamar list because To Pimp Butterfly, Mr. Around the Big Steppers are like 1A and 1B for me. Um, To Pimp Butterfly, I think, is more consistent. I think it is um better written. I think it's a better. I think To Me Butterfly is honestly a better album. But my personal connection to Mr. Around the Big Steppers is the reason why it's like 1B, because like that album came out at a time where I was like doing some pretty heavy therapy, and it ended up kind of lots of the songs there being kind of like a vessel for me to like delve into certain things in therapy. So I would bring up that album all the time, and I'd talk about certain things in there that like felt like they were descriptions of how I felt in a way that I hadn't really picked up on before. So it was like very important to me in that way. So that album is always going to be like probably a lot higher on my list than most people would have it. Um, and it was really the first Kendrick Lamar album that I was like really there for the rollout to, because like in 2017 when Damn came out, like I remember Damn coming out, but I was not a Kendrick Lamar fan at that time. I was barely listening to music in 2017. I was like what, 15? And to be honest, I was a late bloomer when it came to just listening to music, which is like very bizarre, but I just did not listen to a lot of music growing up. Um and that became a thing that like I fell in love with a lot more as a teenager, but that still was like more when I was like 16, 17 is when I really was becoming more of a fan of music. And so yes, I wasn't really a Kendrick Lamar fan at the time because I was really a fan of anyone. Like I really just wasn't. Um, but yeah, so I had become a Kendrick Lamar fan like retroactively by revisiting him, and obviously I knew about Kendrick Lamar and had listened to quite a bit of Damn when it came out. But this time around, it was like I had now had years of being a Kendrick Lamar fan, and I was like fully ready for this album to come out, and it just blew my mind. And after Mr. One of the Big Steppers, I was, especially when the Hillbillies came out, and kind of just seeing the energy that he was on with stuff like that, I was basically wanting an album like this. Like this is what I thought the next logical step was, and all the diss stuff was happening, and then the fact that it's kind of all come to the point of being this, like it's just so interesting to me because I would just love to know what he planned, what he didn't plan, like in terms of how, because GNX like also references so much that has happened this year. And I'm just so curious, like when he did his like that verse, what was his plan? Because I have to imagine in retrospect, like that was definitely supposed to be the start of something that was going to lead to an album like this. I'm just curious how much it changed with the way the Drake beef unfolded. Like I'm curious what Kendrick expected to happen, because there's no way that he could have predicted everything that happened. Um, but he like adapted so well to everything that's happened. It's so much. GNX is such a an interesting album, and it has some of the best. It has some of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs. Like, it has some of his best songs ever, like Reincarnated. I really love Glory. I think Glory is fantastic. Um, Squabble Up's one of my favorite bangers of his. Hey Now is incredible. Like there's some Whacked Out Murals, I mean, is a fantastic intro. Like it's a very good album. It's probably the most consistent. Like I mean, it's one of the it might be the shortest Kendrick Lamar album, I think, but I don't really think there's a bad song in it whatsoever. I know some people don't like G and X, but have a little fun. Have a little fun. That song's fun. Um, and yeah, I think that album's fantastic. Um, but it does come in at number four. This is kind of a fake number four. Really, it's kind of like number two because you're about to see. And honestly, it probably could beat the thing that's at first, but I don't know. I was so hyped with the thing that was at first, so I have to leave that in there. Um, okay, number three. I did so much filming in November. This is partially why November was so hype. This number three, number two is why I was so hype. I'm gonna also just tell you number two. Number two is that I finished my next album, which is why I also was doing so much filming. Basically, November became me nonstop working on my album. I was kind of just like, I'm going to finish it. I'm gonna sit here until it's done, and that's it. Enough fucking around, Dayton. It's time to get this shit done. And I just fucking locked in November, and yeah, just started recording a million things. I mean, the current plan right now, which is gonna happen, I'm gonna make sure it happens. So we're at a point right now where it's definitely gonna happen. But me and my friend are recording a music video to every song. I'll combine it into like a full film thing. The thing is, I don't know how to describe it fully because really all I'm calling is just a film, but it's like kind of a full album visualizer, but because it doesn't have like a separate story or anything like that. It's kind of just a bunch of music videos crammed together with intent in terms of making it flow. Like I'm putting work into making it flow as a full because I kind of want like the visual the film to be like, I want that to be like the main representation of the album in a way. You know, like this feels like the big thing where it's like I want this visual sonic experience to be like, I want it to feel like how you should experience it. But not even really, because I do think just like listening to it is like I want people to just listen to it. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Um but yeah, so we've been filming we've been trying to film a music video for every single song basically. And there's 16 songs and it's been quite the journey. But it was tons of fun. We started filming in September technically. We filmed one music video then, and then we didn't film anything in October, and that got me really worried because I was like, oh no. And then especially because like I've dealt with so much like seasonal depression throughout my life, which has actually gotten, especially this year, I haven't really had a problem with it, which has been pretty nice. But my friend also has dealt with some things. I think everyone kind of, to some extent, everyone I think does just get affected by like, you know, the sun not being out as much, and it's kind of just, I was just worried that it's gonna be like, okay, we're just gonna be stuck at home now, and then by the time we're like finally have like the energy to do it, which I was worried because like, we both work in like I work at a restaurant, he works at a grocery store, and it's like holiday season's gonna be fucking crazy for us. So I don't think we're doing anything in December, and I was like November and October we didn't do anything, and I was like, oh no, we're not gonna be able to do anything because November is usually the month where I feel the most fucking depressed. But I was like, fuck that. I don't care. November can be whatever the fuck I want. It's just a fucking month. It doesn't mean shit. That was the mindset I went in with. And I was like, I'm just going to finish my album. We're going to film a million things. So, like, weekly, whenever we both had a day off together, me and my friend would just go and film, like, bits and pieces of, like, 3 different music videos. We tried playing things out so we could do them, like, back to back to back in like different locations, but we try to have the locations planned out so that we could do them in like a row, or like we plan out like a walk where we could hit all these different spots and then film the whole time. And just film basically any time that we had the chance. And honestly, it made the month so fun. Like just being like I don't know, I really care about this album. I love it. I feel so proud about it. I feel so proud of it. And so just getting to like kind of getting to just like appreciate the fact that I had finished into like, it really was what I had imagined it would be. Like this is the first kind of project I've ever worked on like creatively where I was like, this is the plan. I spent a year on it and I did it. Like that was kind of what happened. Like it was exactly what I wanted it to be. and that's just never really happened before. Usually things change so much while I'm working on them. And so I was just like a very proud moment. I mean, I cried when I finished it. I mean, I've cried quite a bit while making this album, to be honest, which I think is a good sign. I've never really done that with my own music before. Like, I've had sad stuff where I'm like, this is sad and this breaks my heart a little bit, like I just get so overwhelmed emotionally by some of these songs that I made myself to, like, I just can't help but cry, like, almost every time I listen to some of these songs. And so, yeah, so I was just so proud of myself, and then getting to just, like, film so much and like working on such a big project, and having someone I'm working on it with too is also really nice, and like having like a partner to like just go to town on this shit with. That sounded crazy, but I mean it, and I stand by what I said. Um but yeah, it's been tons of fun, and I've had a fantastic time, and I'm very excited to show everyone what we're doing soon. Within the next few days, I'm announcing something, so you know, get hyped. Because yeah, I guess the announcement won't be coming out when you see this video. It will be coming out in a couple days. January 1st, I'm announcing something. I'm just gonna say it. January 1st, we're announcing the first start of this rollout. If you've been following me on Instagram, you've seen like me teasing this album. But yeah, it's the real roll starting. Also, shout out to Jack, or Tomato Trader. I mentioned him before, and Elisa. They both listened to my album like right after I finished it, and honestly, it was very. Talking to them about the album, showing them the album, they were very nice about it. They really loved it. They talked like on Instagram about how much they loved it, and honestly, I don't know if they're watching, but that did mean a lot to me, um and shit like that did make that part of that's what made November so sick. Like, just I felt so proud of what I did, and it's a good feeling to have, because usually I've always been very hard on myself and just not very happy with what I'm doing, and it's been a nice change of pace, and yeah. But at number one, here we go. We're here. Number one is The Penguin, the TV show on HBO, or Crave is how I watch it in Canada. Shout out Canada. Well, not really, but this show's incredible. Come on, I had to have this at number one. This show, like, oh my god. I mean, I've been a fan of. So I liked the Planet of the Apes movies, which means I liked what Matt Reeves was doing. Then Matt Reeves was making a Batman movie. I was like, this shit's gonna be awesome. Then I watched it. I was like, this shit's awesome. I've watched that movie so many times. It's like everything I want from a Batman movie. I do think the third act struggles a little bit. I think the conclusion is, it's not exactly what I wanted from it. But I will say, over time, especially with the Penguin show, it's become a better ending, because I didn't really like that they just like flooded all of Gotham, and it became like this super huge, like, it felt like the scale just like jumped so much at the end, and I just kind of liked the vibes of the rest of the movie so much, and the scale just like went to 1,000,000 at the end, where like all of Gotham's flooded. um Everything there's like crazy shit just happening, and I mean, I get that it kind of needed to have like this big action scene, but I wanted this super like intimate kind of movie all the way through. And so that's the only problem I had. But I do think it's getting better, because the Penguin, I do think, makes the flood, like the way that it deals with the flooding and everything, I do think it makes me like the Batman more. Now, understanding the direction you could take it, it makes me like it more. But yeah, basically I was set up to love this show, and this show is fantastic. And I looked forward to watching it every single week. I was like, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I don't know what else to say. It's so fucking good. If you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, I feel like I don't even really need to say much. Like, obviously it's number one, I feel. It's just so good. But yeah, shout out November. November was great. And I kind of pumped this video. I'll say 24 minutes for me making one of these videos is pretty impressive. Because I just be yapping, as you've seen, and I kind of yapped within 25 minutes. That's impressive. And let me know how your November was. I hope it was fantastic. December ranking coming soon. Every month ranking coming soon. We have to see how my months compare. Now we have done every month, and we have to see how they compare with each other. That'll be important. Every album ranking coming. That's all from me. I'm gonna finish this within the 25-minute mark. Fuck, it just passed. Fuck. Oh, I can edit it shorter so it doesn't do that. Let's go. Okay, I'll see you guys later.